Miraculous. That's the word that is being used to describe the crash of this small plane on the roof of a home in St. Simons Island. The people on the plane and in the house survived. A neighbor called 911.
Is anybody injured?
We got lacerations, but both of them are speaking and walking toward. We are leaking fuel big time.
That call for help came in around 11 o'clock this morning from Circle Drive in St. Simons, just a short distance from the airport.
The two people on board were taken to a hospital for what we're told are minor injuries. The homeowners were inside the house when the plane came down, but were not injured. The plane is registered to KDK Associates in Jacksonville, and Channel 4's Vic Micolucci is joining us live from St. Simons. Vic, any word how the two people on the plane are doing now?
Well, we have good news. Both of them are out of the hospital. They actually came back to the scene probably about 30 minutes ago to talk with FAA investigators about what happened. And people who saw the aftermath say it is really incredible that they were not hurt worse or killed. Another part of good news for them is there were two people nearby that rushed to help.
My father saw the plane go down, and I was just happened to be backing a trailer in, and so I didn't see it, but I heard it.
James Burnsett and his dad didn't hesitate.
He jumped in his truck and came over here, and I was right behind him, and he waved me this way. He said, I'm going to get a ladder.
They work in construction and have a warehouse around the corner. So you have big ladders.
Yeah, we had access to it.
So you were in the right place at the right time.
I guess so, yeah.
Burnsett is also a flight paramedic. He and his father climbed onto the roof and got the two people aboard down onto the ground. What did they say to you?
They just really wanted to talk to their loved ones, and that was about it. Thank you, and we were just trying to make sure that they were okay and clear from the wreckage.
There were two people aboard the plane, two people inside the house. We've been very lucky that the folks on the plane got some minor injuries, scrapes and bruises as far as what I've been told. The folks in the house were fine.
Now investigators are trying to figure out what happened.
The aircraft was airborne and had some mechanical problems. It was an indication to us that it was looking for a place to land, try to make one of our airports. Came in a little bit short and ended up on our neighbor's roof.
This plane and this roof in bad shape. But the important thing is the people are okay. So they were glad to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see there a large tarp covering up the hole in that roof. I just spoke with the homeowner who was inside just a couple minutes ago, and he told me he and his wife are devastated right now, but they are thankful that they were not hurt. The American Red Cross is helping them get food and supplies. They offered to put them up in a hotel, but the homeowner tells me that he is actually going to be staying at the home of some neighbors down the road. They do have insurance. The one thing they need help with right now is he says one of their cats is missing, so he's asking people in the neighborhood to keep an eye out and hopefully return that cat if they find it. Reporting live in St. Simons Island, Georgia, I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Vic, any word where the plane was headed? Was it supposed to be there in St. Simons?
Well, that's all part of the FAA investigation, and they're not releasing too many details right now. We know that it either took off or was trying to land in Jacksonville, was not supposed to be landing here in St. Simons Island, but the pilot had some sort of mechanical issues. He had enough time to radio the air traffic controller for help here in St. Simons Island and got within half a mile of the runway at the airport nearby, but unfortunately was not able to make it and ended up on this roof. But again, thankful to be alive. Everybody now out of the hospital and recovering quickly.
What a relief. All right, thank you, Vic. Vic Micolucci reporting to us live from St. Simons Island. The plane that crashed is registered to KDK Associates of Jacksonville. We went to the San Pablo address of the company's owner, but no one was there to comment.